Hello, now in this video we want to start with Twitter by building a winning profile, and so we're looking at Mary Smith. Mary Smith is probably one of the top, as you can see here, even by her profile, that she really is one of the top 10 social media influencers. In particular, she has built her following on Twitter, and so you can start by looking at one of the elements of a winning profile, and one is definitely that you have an engaging background to your profile. And so you want to either brand this, or you want to make sure that you know what you want to say, whether or not you're trying to build credibility or you're trying to drive attention to what you are offering. So you want to take advantage of all of the real estate that Twitter gives you. In particular, you're going to take advantage of this profile area. You're also going to get a chance to put an image there. Now, you want to take a personal image or a personal photograph and use it there. Why? Because Twitter is personal. So we want to start with a personal photo. We want to start with this background image, and then you're also going to get real estate over here. Now, Mary Smith does not use it, but you can take advantage of that real estate by making sure that you give people your website, that you give people what you are doing, and you want people to be engaged by what you are saying here in the margins. Now, I'm going to take you inside of a profile so that you can see where you're going to upload these things. Now you want to make sure that your profile is completely filled out and that it's filled out directing people to either your website or blog or the offer that you're promoting. I would suggest that you send people to your website or blog because Twitter is based on relationship development. Now you want to make sure that your profile is as personal as you can get it. Therefore, you are going to want to make sure that your header is in place and that you're either, once again, branding your business or branding your offer. Second, a personal profile. Third, you're going to want to make sure that the website that you're using does have a link back to your site or wherever you want people to go. And now what you want to make sure also is in your bio is that you take advantage of that to put any additional links that you want to place in there, which you are allowed to do. Now, if you want to connect things with Facebook, you can. That is not necessary, and that's not necessarily always going to lead to your being able to make more money. So once again, make sure that your profile is completely filled out. Use the bio area to put links there if that is what you want to do. In some cases, you will not want to do that because you want to keep people singularly focused on one offer. Now, the next thing we're going to do is take a look at the design area. Now, you're going to get the opportunity to upload your own custom design image. Now, what is suggested that you do is rather than design one here or even customize your own, it's very simple to go to Fiverr and have one designed. And so you want to have one designed, once again, based on what you are branding. In particular, when you're trying to make cash, you want to stick to really driving people and getting people focused on the website where your offer is going to be. So you can actually have, depending on what your resources are, have several of these designed, and then you want to start testing which background is going to give you the most traffic back to your offer. What you want on Twitter is to have people who are watching your tweets who are interested in the offer that you have. So you're probably interested in, how do I find those people? Well, that's pretty easy on Twitter. There is a search area, and you're going to search two things. You're going to search your subject or your keyword. In particular, if you were doing dog training, you would just type that in. And what's going to happen is you're going to find several people, or you're going to find people who are interested in dog training. And you're going to have people who have those in their title. Now, once you actually have Twitter return some tweets to you and return some people that are interested in that subject, here's what you're going to do. Now, in particular, the key to being successful when you do a search like this is not necessarily following the people who have dog training in their title, especially if that's what your offer is in. You want to follow the people who are following these people in dog training. So in particular, you want to make sure that you click in dog training care, and you want to find out who is actually following them, because if they're interested in dog training, they'll be interested in your offer. So you want to click on the people who are following them, and Twitter will give you that. And now we have the people who are following this person who does dog training, and so we want to follow them in hopes that they follow us back. Now if they follow us back, then we have someone interested. Now here's where it comes back to: when you follow people here, you want them to look at your profile, and when they look at your profile, you want them to see that you are about dog training, right? So when they've already expressed an interest once, when they see your profile, you want them to see that you are going to be talking about dog training on your profile. That is really the key, is getting people who are interested. So you don't get the people who are talking about dog training. You want to get the people who are listening to the people who are talking about dog training. So you want to follow as many people as you can. Now there's a lot of published information about Twitter having following limits, and you're going to want to manage that part of it. That's kind of beyond the scope of this particular tutorial. Basically, what we want to make sure is that you start by getting the right people listening and watching for your tweets. And you do that by finding people who are listening to the people who are talking about the things you're going to be talking about. And we're coming back to Mary Smith's profile so that you understand what you're going to be tweeting and what you're going to be putting in your messages. First, what you're going to be putting in your messages is content that is going to be helpful to people who are listening about your subject matter. So just as Mary Smith is doing here, she's sharing helpful information, and she's actually answering people on a personal level. So if you're doing those two things, you're sharing things that are helpful to people, you're answering people on the personal level, when you start to tweet out what your offer is, you will find people will be inclined to listen to what you were saying. The key is getting the audience of people that are going to be interested in what you're sharing. And if you do that part first and you're sharing with them helpful information, when it comes time for you to start sharing your offer or giving them a reason to go back to your website, they're going to be willing to do that. One thing that you want to see here in Mary Smith's profile is the ratio of offers to helpful things that you're sending out. So let's take, for instance, here's something that's informational to her following. Here's a tweet that's informational to her following. Here's a tweet that's informational to her following. Here is a tweet that is about her mastermind. And then here is something else that's helpful. So you want to keep the ratio generally between 3 and 4 to 1. So 4 helpful posts or 3 helpful posts to 1 post that is self-promotional or 1 post to your offer. That is the ratio that you want to make sure that you are keeping, because you don't want people to associate you with being a spammer. So you want to do what you can first to gather the people who are interested in what you have to say and send out things that are going to be helpful to them. That means that you're going to have content either on your website, or you're going to have to be getting content from private label rights if you're not an expert in that subject. One thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that you keep people engaged with photographs as well as videos. And you want to have photographs and videos in your subject matter. Now, Mary Smith's subject matter is social media, so she is showing herself at a social media conference. Now, does it matter in particular whether or not these people are, heavy hitters? Well, that does not matter as much as the fact that she is tweeting photographs of a social media event, and her specialty is social media. So as much as you can, you should be able to tweet out something personal with respect to you and your subject. This is what helps people, the people who are following you, to connect with you and listen to you when you actually tweet out an offer. This is another important aspect of working on Twitter. One of the things that you want to take note of is there, and this was talked about earlier in this video, you want to spend some time making sure that you are personally responding to individuals who contact you. Notice that there are conversations here, and you want to have those conversations with people who are contacting you on Twitter. Does this take time? Yes, it does. However, it is worth your time if you're going to be able to send out offers to people and you're going to be able to grow your following in order to get your offer in front of as many people as you can. Of course, you are going to be able to attract people that may not have your stated keyword, but may be interested in what you have to say anyway. And the way you're going to do that is you can really participate in conversations on Twitter through hashtags. And every time you use a hashtag, this hashtag is clickable and it is a conversation that people are participating in all across Twitter. So another one thing that you want to do is to make good use of your hashtags so that you are contacting people that are going to be interested in your subject matter. So once again, in summation, what you're going to be doing is first connecting with people who are connecting with you. You want to make sure that your profile promotes what you have to offer, and you want to make sure that you are interacting with people according to the ratio, as well as with hashtags. If you are doing this consistently, you will get the opportunity to get your offer in front of a growing number of people on a daily basis. Twitter is just like any other social network. You will need to be consistent, and you will need to be consistent on a daily basis. We certainly hope that this has been helpful for you in getting started generating cash on Twitter. Now, read below for a very special offer to take advantage of right now.